first of all, congratulations. I think Redbridge is listed as one of the top efficient performing councils in London. It's not an easy task. So I'll start with that. But before I get to the details of politics and all that stuff, can I get a quick intro of you, who you are? People may know you as a leader of the council, but if you want to quickly give us a little more flavor of like your beginnings and all that stuff.
So I'm an East London boy. I'm born and bred in East London.
Yeah.
First, as a kid, I was in Newham, so across on the other side of the A406, and then as I was growing, we moved to Redbridge. Educated here. I went to school here. My sister and brother are here. My extended family as well, uncles and aunts and cousins are local. And then I'm bringing up my own family here as well in Redbridge. So I've got 3 daughters. 2 are working, just started work, and the youngest is still at school.
Amazing. And when did you choose politics as a career? How did that come in? You're a finance person.
Yeah.
So you worked in finance industry.
Yeah,
so how did politics happen to you?
So my career has been in financial advice, and before that I was working in retail as well. It was out of, I suppose, a little bit of frustration, a bit like all of us when we sit at home and we have concerns about the area that we live in and how we can make a difference. So I was an active member of the Labour Party, and I was encouraged to stand. The person who told me to stand, he lied. He told me it's a few hours a week, but as you know,
it's 24/7.
If you're passionate about what you want to do, if you want to make a difference, it becomes all you do almost. If you're not talking about it, you're thinking about it, and if you're not thinking about it, you're reading about it. So there's always an element of you that's always part of every day of the week. You're a councillor. So I never liked being called a politician, to be honest. Because I thought of myself, and I do think of myself as a member of the public who has been elected to be their councillor.
That's amazing. So that is interesting. Somebody asked you to join politics, as in like becoming a councillor. Who was it? Like, was it your mentor?
So it was a mixture. So one was my father-in-law. He encouraged me. Because he's always had an interest in politics. And he encouraged me to stand. And then another was a local councillor who's now retired. And he was the one who told me it's only a couple of hours a week. In a few meetings, but I'm glad I did it. I'm still glad that we did it. I think it's a good thing to try and serve your community and to do your best. And as long as you come in with the right intention, you go in there to think that you want to serve everybody and the whole community and to bring them together, then you're doing it for the right reasons.
Brilliant. So you started as a councillor.
Yeah.
But then you went on to become a cabinet. And then a couple of years back, you picked up being the leader of the council, which is probably a lot of responsibility. Do you want to quickly tell me the journey, how it looks like, where you started from now? Yeah.
So, I joined. I became a cabinet. I was a councillor. So I was first few months. You're trying to find your feet to understand what to do and how to do it. And like everybody sitting at home, you think you know how you can do it straight away. You think you understand how to fix things, but you find out quite quickly that it's not as easy as you think it is, and there's a lot of hurdles in the way. But quite quickly, within a matter of months, for unfortunate reasons for one of my colleagues, who was a little unwell at the time, I was asked to join the cabinet and take over the role of the cabinet member for finance. And so like the first message I got was from a resident who emailed me, said congratulations for being the cabinet member for finance. He also said, but you've got the poison chalice because at the time and still, but particularly at that time in the UK, we were seeing austerity. So we were seeing cuts of funding, local government, to all different kinds of public bodies. And so he looked at it as like, well, you've got a big challenge in front of you. And then for a number of years after that, I was also the deputy leader. For about 6 years now, I was the deputy leader of the council as well. And then in 2024, I became the leader of the council. And
you took it from Jazz.
Yeah. So Jazz moved on to be an MP, and then I put myself forward to our group, and fortunately they selected me to be their leader.
But did you think you were ready by then? Like, because Redbridge is such a vibrant community, right? I mean, when you look at, I think it's one of those boroughs, like most of the East London boroughs are like that. Like, you have tremendous amount of diversity. So many people from across the globe lives here. I think there are 200 dialects that have been spoken in Redbridge, close to. So how's your view, like when you're being asked to do this? Did you think it was really big, or can I do this, or something like that?
Um, so I wouldn't say that I ever had like long-term aspirations to do this. I enjoy being part of a team because it's that team that tries to make our place a little
Yeah,
bit better.
yeah.
But I didn't feel daunted about being the leader because, like, if I look at my phone, if I go through my phone looks like our borough. It's got the names. If you read the names, they've got the names from people from South Asian to African names to European names to UK names.
Yeah.
People from all over the world are in this phone because that's what the borough looks like. It's a borough that's reflective of what London looks like, very diverse, but it's also a borough where most people get on. So I didn't feel, in that respect, I didn't feel daunted about taking the role on. But it is a challenging role because you're ultimately responsible for what goes on in the borough, even if you're not doing it yourself. And there are over 300,000 people that you are trying to, one way or another, in different ways, depending on what they need, you're trying to serve them.
So I've been speaking to a couple of leaders across the boroughs. Like I was with Newham leader last week.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I was speaking to Barking and various people, right? I mean, all that they always come back to us, there's so much to do within so little time. Do you still feel that? I mean, is that something you relate to, or do you think because the reason I'm asking that question, Cam, to you, because when I looked at the statistics, and I think we were in the business meeting a few days back as well, I was telling, okay, are we in the top 10 of boroughs in the country right now, and how are we doing and all that stuff? When you hear or look at that, what's your reflection? Do you think that we have done good enough, or there's so much to do, or I mean, I would love to hear from you on that.
So I think there's always more to do because you're going to think of ideas. We're all going to think of ideas about something new for us to improve the place that we call home. So I think it's a never-ending list of always something more to do.
Yeah,
I think we've achieved a great deal together as a group. As a Labour group in Redbridge. We're a family, we're friends, but we're also colleagues as well. And so we've achieved a great deal in delivery of our manifesto, of the things that we've promised to our residents. But we also know that there's a lot more to do.
Yeah.
Because it's quite, the truth of it is, it's quite fragile. Everything you try to deliver and everything you try to bring, it requires constant leadership. It requires constant monitoring. It requires everybody to be involved. Our public, our residents, our neighbours, for them to be involved as well, because it's not the council doing all the work together. It's about and not doing it to our community. It's about working with them to deliver on their priorities. So there will always be a constant list of things to do. And sometimes, yes, it feels like there's so much to do. But that's why you have colleagues, you have people in the cabinet who you can share the load with as well. But when you are leader, then you do. I personally, anyway, I feel like it's my responsibility.
It's your responsibility. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.